First of all, there's no dialogue really in the picture. There's no narration, which a documentary usually has. There are no subtitles, and there's very little music. So it was entirely dependent on what the kids were doing and how they were built. We have something called playability in film. So to make the moments from the very beginning to the very end play with none of those tools at your service was very, very difficult. And I had to find a way to make one event go into the other event and go into another event and still keep you interested. I basically knew the very first shot I was going to start the movie with, and I knew the end shot. And basically I followed the chronology of how they were developing over the year, you know, from being born to crawling to eating to talking to walking, which is where it ended. And so those were the only parameters I had for the story. So the real difficult part of it all was trying to make it play so that, you know, the audience would enjoy it, and that took the most work. It was the most difficult work that I've done. They shot 400 hours. Now, you might think that's a lot of footage to go through, but these events happen very rarely. So, I mean, you could go through and you could find something pretty quickly. The thing that I found most difficult, though, was finding a story that tied it all together. And the thing that tied it all together was really their oneness, regardless of where they were culturally. At that age, there was a universality to our humanity. And that's what that was foremost in my mind when I was putting it together. This film was totally made in the cutting room. So I had these bookends that I had to make work and get to, you know, starting out here and building and building and building and building and taking it to that moment of triumph. I did it actually in about 12 weeks, which is pretty fast for a documentary. And even though I say it's probably one of the most difficult things I had to put together because I had to make it work and play, it was also probably the film I've had the most fun on.